Assalamualaikum and greeting to all the panel. My name is Noor Amira Eliana binti Zulkarnain. I will present a research summary which is a project paper 1. The title of my presentation is a study of the relationship between perceived organizational justice and job satisfaction among manufacturing employees at Shah Alam. Next, I will talk about background of the study. Organizational justice refers to employees' perception of fairness at work, including distributive, which is a fairness of outcome, for procedural, fairness of processes, and for interpersonal, a respectful treatment justice. Cesare 2024. This perception strongly affects job satisfaction, motivation, commitment, and employee retention. Cesare 2024. Job satisfaction is a critical aspect of organizational behavior that reflects an employee's overall attitude towards their work and workplace. Hunt et al. 2021. In the context of job manufacturing in this industry, particularly in developing countries like Malaysia, employee job satisfaction is vital for enhancing performance and organizational success. Ramli and Anwar 2022. Factors such as salary, management, communication, and work environment significantly influence satisfaction levels, as highlighted in a recent study. Ramli and Anwar 2022. Given the significant impact of job satisfaction on organizational success, ongoing research aims to explore the various determinant of employee happiness, the role of psychological traits like resilience and optimism, and the effectiveness of tailored intervention. Hunt et al. 2021. Problem statement. Despite the recognized importance of fairness in the workplace, many organizations continue to face challenges related to perception of organizational justice among employees. Ametep et al. 2022. When employees perceive injustice, it can lead to decreases in engagement, increased turnover, and diminished organizational performance. Ametep et al. 2022. The problem of job satisfaction remains a critical concern for organizations as it directly influences employee engagement, performance, and overall organizational effectiveness. Ametep et al. 2022. Despite its importance, many organizations struggle to identify the key factors that enhance job satisfaction and how these factors translate into improved work outcome. Ametep et al. 2022. Current issues related to organizational justice in organizations include perceptions of unfairness in resource distribution, decision-making processes, and interpersonal treatment. Ametep et al. 2022. Unfair procedure and perceived inequities can lead to decreased job satisfaction, low organizational commitment, and higher turnover intention. Ametep et al. 2022. When employees perceive injustice, whether distributive, procedural, or interactional, it can lead to decreased job satisfaction, low organizational commitments, and higher turnover rates. Ametep et al. 2022. Current issues related to job satisfaction in organizations include the difficulty in accurately perceiving dissatisfactions, which can lead to negative outcomes such as decreased loyalty, increased absenteeism, and workplace accident. Kustiawan et al. 2022. Next is the research question and objective. For the research question, number 1. What is the level of perceived organizational justice among employees manufacturing company at Shah Alam? Number 2. What is the level of job satisfaction among employees manufacturing company at Shah Alam? Number 3. What is the relationship between perceived organizational justice and job satisfaction among employees manufacturing company at Shah Alam? For the research objective, number 1. To identify the level of perceived organizational justice among employees manufacturing company at Shah Alam. Number 2. To determine the level of job satisfaction among employees manufacturing company at Shah Alam. Number 3, to investigate the relationship between perceived organizational justice and job satisfaction among employee manufacturing company at Shah Alam. Next, for hypothesis. Hypothesis alternative HA. There is a significant positive between perceived organizational justice and job satisfaction among employees manufacturing company at Shah Alam. Okay, for significance of study is we have a two, practice and knowledge. For the first one, practice can help to understand employee satisfaction due to the fairness provided within the organization. This finding can help to understand employee satisfaction due to the fairness provided within the organization. Therefore, this organization may allocate more resources to provide good job satisfaction for employees to retain them in the organization. This finding highlights the importance for manufacturing organizations to implement clear and equal procedure regarding reward distribution, performance evaluation, communication, and decision making. Organizations that maintain an equitable and respectful workplace are more inclined to experience enhancements in employee morale, productivity, and retention. This research provides insight that can guide the formulation of equitable labor practice, policies defending employee rights, and framework that foster ethical employment norms. For the knowledge, this study will contribute to all areas of work within the organization, especially in the manufacturing sector, as it has a large workforce that need to be managed. Because not suitable to use in academic writing, this research also can serve as a guideline for the future research, especially in perceived organizational justice and job satisfaction. Literature review. The word organization means the workplace in society, while justice is the fairness of that workplace. The terms together signify role of fairness in the workplace. Krishnan, 2020. Distributive justice examines the fact that not everyone is treated the same way in the workplace. The distribution of outcome is nearly always varied. Krishnan, 2020. Employees may try to justify their desire to quit by finding evidence that suggests unfairness in the way words are given out. Krishnan, 2020. The procedural justice perspective examines the fairness of the evaluation methods used to assign ratings. Krishnan, 2020. For example, an organization might give its employees a raise every year. International justice is about how people in power treat their subordinates and how those subordinates react to how they feel about it. Ghani, 2022. It's also about how information is shared and whether the individuals affected by a choice is treated with the utmost respect and dignity, as it demonstrates by the fact that it was done with decency and respect. Ghani, 2022. Organizational members who tend to show positive feelings toward distributive, procedural, and interactional justice are likely to report higher levels of job satisfaction. Ghani, 2022. This means that managers should pay close attention to how they allocate labor, responsibilities, rewards, and other resources among staff. Many studies have examined the fairness of an organization, its employees' overall job satisfaction. Krishnan, 2020. When employees are happy, they tend to think that their company is fair. Krishna, 2020. Employment satisfaction was defined as a person's overall attitude towards their employment, or the difference between the rewards employees get and the rewards they should obtain. Purnama, Tejono, Esri, and Rizakullah, 2020. This conclusion is supported by the findings that variables such as work, salary, and management communication have a strong positive correlation with employee satisfaction and performance. Ramli and Anwar 2022. Additionally, according to studies on organizational justice, employees are happier at work when they feel that they are being treated fairly and equitable. Krishnan 2020. Employees are more likely to be satisfied with their job when they believe the organizations fair and equitable. That means that they are more likely to want to meet the organization's goals. Krishnan 2020. In the context of Malaysia, did a study on procedural justice in promotion decision. Krishnan 2020. According to one 2012, discovered that Malaysia had numerous examples where the way managers were promoted was unfair and biased. Krishnan 2020. Next, for theoretical review, we have used two theory, which is for the first theory Adams equity theory 1916. Adams equity theory explains that employees compare the effort they put into their work, input like loyalty, hard work, and commitment, with the rewards they receive, output like salary, benefit, and recognition. Krishnan 2020. According to equity theory, people who think their inputs are less than their output may feel guilty. On the other hand, workers who think their input are more than their output will be angry. Krishnan 2020. The Adam-Equity theory posits that employees assess fairness in the workplace by comparing their outcome/input ratio to that of others. When employees perceive an imbalance, either over-reward or under-rewards, they experience dissonance, which can lead to dissatisfaction and behavioral changes. Coleman et al. 2020. Past studies in manufacturing settings have shown that perception of organizational justice significantly impact employee motivation, commitment, and performance. Tesmer and Oxenford 2021. For example, when employees perceive high level of fairness, they tend to exhibit higher job satisfaction and organizational commitment, leading to improved productivity. For second theory is Herzberg two-factor theory. According to Al-Rawahi et al. 2020, the theory proposed by Frederick Herzberg and employees' attitude toward work and job performance are determined by two aspects. For the first one is motivator factors and hygiene factor. Al-Rawahi et al. 2020. The concept of theory in the context of job satisfaction refer to framework or models that explain how and why employees feel satisfied or dissatisfied with their jobs. Ramli and Anwar 2022. This theory helps in understanding the underlying factors influencing job attitude and behavior. Additionally, research indicates that intrinsic factors like the nature of the work and extrinsic factors like salary and management communication significantly impact satisfaction levels. Ramli and Anwar 2022. Overall, this theory provides a foundation for analyzing how various personal and organizational factors contribute to employee satisfaction, guiding organizations in designing strategy to enhance workplace morale and performance. Ramli and Anwar 2022. Next, for the conceptual framework, we have a perceived organizational justice as an independent variable, while job satisfaction was dependent variable in this research. Previous research has concluded that there is relationship between perceived organizational justice and job satisfaction. Next, for research design, for the study type, this study uses a quantitative research designed to examine the relationship between perceived organizational justice and job satisfaction among employee manufacturing. Quantitative research is appropriate because it allows the researchers to collect numerical data, analyze patterns, and measure the strength and direction of relationship between variables using statistical methods. Descriptive research aims to describe the characteristics of a population or phenomenon, while inferential research seeks to answer the hypothesis about a population based on a sample. In this study, a correlation research design is used to examine the relationship between perceived organizational justice and job satisfaction. The independent variable is perceived organizational justice and the dependent variable is a job satisfaction. For sampling method, this study used a non-probability per perceived sampling strategy to gather data from employees in manufacturing company. This method was chosen. The study specifically focused on individuals with applicable work experience capable of delivering accurate data on perceived organizational justice and job satisfaction. Researchers need to collect data from 278 manufacturing employees. According to Craigie and Morgan, this number comes from a formula which helps researchers decide how many people to include in a study. Based on this, a total manufacturing employee population is 1,000. For data collection, since the objective is to determine how levels of perceived organizational justice, distributive procedural, and interactional justice relate to job satisfaction, a quantitative approach enables the use of structured questionnaire and Likert scale, ensuring consistency and objectivity in responses. Next, for research procedure, for the first one is define research question, objective, and hypothesis. I begin by clearly defining my research question and hypothesis to guide the direction of the study. For number 2, pilot test, for the questionnaires, a structured questionnaires with 48 items was created, including closed-ended question aligned with the objective. My pilot tested it to ensure clarity and reliability. For number 3, identify target population. I determined my target population, employees in the manufacturing sector, focusing on relevant demographic. For number 4, select a sampling method. I use purposive sampling, selecting only participants who work in manufacturing to enhance the validity of the result. For number 5, distribute the questionnaire. The questionnaire that I used was distributed online using Google Form. I also reached out through contact to help share it with employees from specific company. For number 6, I collect data from respondents. Responses were collected and checked for completeness before moving on to analysis. Okay, for number 7 is analyze the data. I import the responses into SPSS. During this stage, I also perform data cleansing to handle any missing responses. Interpret and present the data. Finally, I interpreted the finding while maintaining confidentiality, ensuring the privacy and trust of our respondents. For research instrument, the research instrument that is used in this study is a questionnaire that serves the purpose of collecting quantitative data. The questionnaire used for this study has been classified into 3 sections. For number 1 is demographic information, which is a section A, perceived organizational justice questionnaire and job satisfaction questionnaire. For section A, respondents are asked to fill out their demographic information. The purpose of demographic information is to collect the respondent biological data and background status. This section will explore various aspects of the personal demographic of respondents, including gender, age, ethnicity, level of education, name of company, type of department, period of working experience, and type of employment. Okay, move to the section C. In this section, for the questionnaire aims to assess the perceived organizational justice of respondents. According to Niehoff and Morman, the questionnaire utilized in this study is from justice scale, justice as a mediator of the relationship between methods of monitoring and organizational citizen behavior. The questionnaire section B contains a total of 20 items and measures 3 components of organizational justice that included distributive justice, procedural justice, and interactional justice. In this section, researchers utilized a 5-point Likert scale as a measurement tool that ranging from 1 to 5 to assess the perceived organizational justice of the respondent. The score for 1 is strongly disagree to number 2 is disagree, while the scale number 3 indicate neutral and the range of 4 is agree and 5 is strongly agree for the statement in the questionnaire. Section C, according to West, Minnesota Satisfaction Questionnaire (MSQ) is designed to measure an employee's satisfaction. The MSQ consists of 20 items that offer more detailed insight into the employment characteristics that an individual finds satisfying compared to broader assessment of job satisfaction, which is the pay, promotion, fringe benefit, contingent rewards, supervision, CO workers, operating procedure, nature of work, and communication. Respondent ranking from 1 to 5 to assess the job, and the score for 1 is very dissatisfied, to number 2 is dissatisfied, while the scale 3 indicate natural, and the range of 4 is satisfied, and number 5 is very satisfied for the statement in the questionnaire. For the pilot study and reliability, within the research, a total of 15 employees as respondents for the pilot study from manufacturing at Daikin. During the pilot study, the instrument tested included the questionnaire regarding perceived organizational justice and job satisfaction among manufacturing employee company at Sungai Buloh. Overall, reliability value for organizational justice and job satisfaction is 0.957. Therefore, the result indicate a strong reliability. That's all from me. Thank you for listening.